This is on what a lot of the hackers and stalkers were doing. I was hacked at least 3 times on Facebook and several times on my email. Um, but that's not the point. Um, I suppose the point that I'm trying to make is that people did a lot of really evil things over these rumors. Right at the very start, a lot of people were doing evil things. The way that the police did things and didn't come forward with evidence, they omitted the truth intentionally and intentionally misled the public in Arapahoe County and in Boulder County. They weren't the only ones who intentionally misled the public. The media did this as well, and they've been continuing to do it. Also, the fake media. The fake media are the ones that I was able to talk to. Jennifer Dejowski and that Josh feller who works for Mike Boudet. Now, I have proof from the guy that I gave the interview to. I was messaging him. It shows that I was trying to get help. And it also shows that he was just after a story for Mike Boudet, who has a history, a very long history of painting. You like how I said that? Painting. He's an artist. He paints a picture for you so that you fit his bias. He has a disliking for the homeless. Anybody considered mentally ill, the way that he speaks of them, it's obvious that he has a very Nazi mentality towards them. He'd rather shove us all into work camps or throw us all in an oven. Many people have that mentality, and that's why we get victimized so much. Even if the police officer doesn't have that mentality, because a lot of police officers do, and they'll just harass you for no fucking reason. They see you, you're homeless, you're broke, you don't look pretty in their pretty city. So they get shitty. But then there's the people who are the same way, who don't wear badges, who call up the badges, who do the same thing that they do even if you didn't call. And we have to deal with this. We have to deal with being harassed by police for everyone's bias. Oh, he looks suspicious. No, he looks fucking broke. You see a black man going through your neighborhood and you call him in as suspicious. He's not suspicious either. He's just black. I'm going to pause this for a second. It's hot as fucking here, and that door beeping annoys the shit out of me. I can talk over it, but it kind of fucks up my concentration. Anyway, I got a hold of that lady from Peak Wellness, the one who sent me a friend request way back when Natalie first disappeared, and I noticed it after I'd been to Peak Wellness. Imagine that. But one of the things that is very odd with the case is that a lot of people, right after offering to help, they were blocked from doing so. They were blocked from communicating. Now, this woman, I asked her a question. I wanted to know if I told a mandatory reporter that I was being abused, is it against the law for them not to do anything? And she said yes. And now I can't communicate with her. Her profile is now shut down for some reason. This has been happening a lot. Mandy Hughes was kicked off of being my friend at least 3 or 4 times. Dan Fabert several times as well. Lots of people offered to help, and immediately afterward, I was blocked. I couldn't communicate with them anymore. And when I got a hold of them, they said, no, I didn't block you. And there's a few people who blocked me that later said they didn't, that were just outright liars, like Teresa Orrin's daughter, Brandy. But that's neither here nor there. There's a lot of witnesses, and I'm going to try to get a hold of the witnesses, the ones that I didn't run off or scare off already. And I'm going to try to get them to get a hold of this officer and send him everything that they saw. There's a lot of people who said that they saw a lot of the stuff and they thought it was messed up. But later on, they wanted to change their story when I asked them to actually make a statement. And they're like, oh no, I didn't see anything. I just heard what you said. I'm like, oh my God. Really? You're in these Natalie groups, and you told me that you're sorry about all the stuff that I'm going through, and you saw it, and so on and so forth. And that's really the part that sucks, is when you tell me that you saw it, and then 6 months down the road, you're like, I didn't see anything. You didn't see nothing. You didn't hear nothing. Right? Is that how it is? It's pretty fucked up, because if you're telling me a different story now, then it either means that you're lying now, or it means you were lying then. Now, there's a lot of situations where if you pick the right time frame, you could call me a liar. If I'm talking about something that happened in November of last year, and you're talking about something that happened in alright, well, let's say that I'm talking about something that happened last January, right? And you're talking about something that happened after last August. Now, if I say that I hadn't threatened anyone in their family, I hadn't threatened to harm or get physically violent with any of those people, and I'm talking about January of last year, or February, or even March, I'm telling the truth, 100%. But if you try to take that part where I'm talking about something that happened in January or February of last year, and you're trying to say, oh, well, you threatened them in August of last year. Well, fuck yes, I threatened them. I threatened to take the Bollingers to court. I threatened to take a Bollinger. I threatened to take Alicia Bollinger to court, and I threatened to take her mother to court. The people that I threatened to kill were the ones who threatened to kill me and kill my friends and kill my family. What, you don't like it back? Pot calling the kettle black, you fucking hypocrite. And these people were doing these things were friends with the Bollingers. They were coordinating with the Bollingers. Jennifer Farina Bollinger was fanning the flames as best she could, shaming people for listening to me. Doing all the things that Kel Bell was whining about. All the things that Kel Bell was whining about. Meanwhile, I had people that were making fake accounts with my name. And fake accounts with other people who are friends of mine's names and sending me friend requests. Kel Bell is actually one of my friends that ditched me right after Natalie disappeared. This Kel Bell? No, it's a different one entirely. There's actually 2 Kel Bells that were commenting in some of those Facebook groups. One for one side and one for the other. Neither one of them is the Kel Bell that I know. There's also a couple of Katie Kates. But the Katie Kate that I know is different. And she offered to help. She's another one of those who offered to help, and then as soon as she offered, there was a block. And magically we couldn't communicate. Plus all of the Facebook bans. Now most of these groups, if I was allowed in them, I could get everybody in that group who was talking shit about me Facebook banned. I could. I really could. I proved this with just 2 different people that I picked to do that with. Just 2. In less than 30 minutes, I was able to get 11 of Adam Klein's harassment things taken down. And he got put on a Facebook ban for that. Now what I could have done is one at a time. Wait till he's off of a ban and ban him again. This is one of the people that Jennifer Farina Bollinger was working with and conspiring with to harass, threaten, and destroy my life. And they did so repeatedly. And Ted Bollinger took part. Ted Bollinger was still threatening me after the protection order. Imagine that. What a fucking pussy. He was trying to goat me into doing something or saying something stupid. That's what he was doing. Except that I have evidence of it. Just like when he was pulling that shit at my grandma's funeral, where he was typing stuff, and as soon as I'd reply to it, he'd delete his comment, trying to hide the fact that he was doing it, which was a red flag that made me believe that he was trying to do something terrible and trying to cover his tracks. And since he couldn't produce evidence that his daughter, Alicia, was okay, I wasn't going to trust him no fucking way. And that's why Graham going outside and saying what he did pissed me off so much. Because I needed that officer to listen to me. These people think that because they harassed me like cowards in Facebook Messenger, that it makes what they did okay. No, it makes them cowards. I did it out in the open. I did it back to you out in the open with my face showing. Not hiding behind a dummy account. The 2 accounts that I made where it wasn't me, the first one that I made was Guitaria's case. And that's so I could talk to Natalie and try to get her to stop this bullshit without her and her fucking family fucking treating her like shit for it. And I also used that to try to get a hold of Bree to apologize to her for not showing up at Starbucks when I was gonna. And the second one that I made, the Michelle Brannick one, in both of them, I let Natalie know exactly who I was. I let Maddie know who I was. I let Alicia know who I was. I didn't hide who I was. I let them know immediately. But I was trying to get them to help because nobody else would. The police would not do their fucking jobs. No matter what. Not the ones in Colorado. Not the ones in Virginia. Not the ones in Nebraska. And if that is their job, then we live in Nazi Germany. And if you're Jewish, right now would probably be a good time to beeline for Denmark.